There are so many big, beautiful reasons why someone might want to leave their country in search of a new life somewhere else.
Subtle.
In this video, we're going to show you exactly how we got our 5-year DTV Visa to live here in Thailand. We've got all the tips, all the things to look out for, everything you need to do, and all the reasons why we absolutely adore living in Bangkok, Thailand.
We're Rocky and Kimball, gay couple and husbands of 27 years. After decades of grinding and rising to the top of my field, we're leaving it all behind, choosing simplicity, meaning, and a fresh start here in Bangkok, Thailand. Join us for the adventure as we learn a new culture, build a life from the ground up, and rediscover our happiness in the land of smiles.
So let's get up and go, it's just you and me.
So we just got to Bangkok, Thailand a little over a month ago, and we have written up a lot of notes of things we did during our application process for this visa, and we just really wanted to share this with you guys. So if you are interested in coming to Bangkok, I want to show you guys exactly what we did to get our DTV visa, and I just want to preface this that we went with the Soft Powers Activities visa. So I'll get into all the details about that, but if you're here to learn how to do like the workcation or the digital nomad part, this is not how we got into the country. It is stuff that we do, but we actually applied for a different version of this DTV visa. With that in mind, let's get right into it. So in this video, we're going to cover what is the DTV visa, show you guys exactly what it is, what are the types of DTV visas you can apply for, what are the requirements for this DTV visa, and then ultimately how to apply for it without leaving any information out that would cause a delay to your process. We're not going to discuss the workation process for the DTV visa. If you guys are a digital nomad and all that stuff, that has different requirements. You'll need like proof of your income, letters from employers, things like that. We didn't do that, so we can't advise on it at all. But there's tons of information on forums and Reddit and like on the DTV website, so I would just go look there.
Most of the YouTube videos that we saw about the DTV visa were about workcation and digital nomads anyway, so that wasn't helpful for us.
Yeah.
So we did the soft powers, so hopefully if you're going that route, this will be helpful for you.
So we are living in Thailand now on a DTV visa for the next 5 years. We have in and out privileges, and we just have to basically do a border run every 6 months and then 90-day check-in. So that's kind of like the long and short of this visa. But it was actually really easy to apply for this visa, and once we had all of our documentation in place, everything went pretty smoothly, to be honest. So we want to give you guys all of the tips, all of the things we learned along the way, and make sure you have the tools you need to be able to successfully get through this efficiently and without too much stress. Let's get right into it. So I have to kind of look at my notes because we're not like professional announcers and we don't have a teleprompter. So how did we get our DTV Soft Powers Visa? Kimball, tell us all about it.
Well, it all started with going online and doing a little bit of research. And we found out that you have to apply for the visa outside of Thailand. You cannot do it within Thailand.
That's correct. So don't move here and then think you can apply for the visa afterwards without having to leave the country again.
Right. And I think the most current situation is you don't even need to go into your Thai embassy. I think they've changed it to where all embassies actually prefer you to do it online. If they have more questions, they will email you. And if you absolutely need to, they will ask you to come to the embassy. But I haven't heard of anybody needing to do that yet.
And again, this is all very fluid. Things are changing quickly. This is the most recent video I could put out. This information could change if you're watching 6 months after this video is posted. So just keep that in mind. Always go to the official source, to the visa website, which I'm going to put right here, and just check their requirements to make sure that whatever you're doing now applies for this time period, because this will keep changing, I guarantee it.
I'm just going to say up front, it was much simpler than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it took a lot of time to gather all the documents, and there was a lot of that uncertainty because we didn't know, like, do we need this, don't we need this? That's why we're doing this video, because we want to just show you everything you need, so there's like no question in your mind on what you need to provide. So that's why you're watching this video. So if you watch to the end, hopefully you'll have all the tools you'll need. You'll feel really confident to do this without any kind of stress or trepidation.
And we went through the London Thai embassy. They were very helpful, and we needed to provide a little bit more information, which they just emailed us and we got right to them, and that was not an issue. So hopefully your embassy will be just as understanding and helpful.
But we'll tell you what to provide so you don't need to do that. Hopefully they won't have to reach out and ask for more information. So what is the DTV Visa exactly? So it stands for Destination Thailand Visa. And ultimately what it is, it's it's a 5-year tourist visa that allows you multiple entries. So that means you can leave the country, come back, and you don't have to worry about getting stopped at the border and things like that.
And you don't have to fill out re-entry forms.
Exactly. So it can save you a lot of time, a lot of hassle. And I know a lot of people who live here and have lived here for a long time are converting over to this visa because it makes their lives a lot easier, and it's also very affordable to sign up for. But that means you can stay in the country, you can do whatever you're doing. You just cannot make any money or earn any money within this country. So that's one of the biggest things to keep in mind if you're coming here to like start a business or do any of that, or you want to work towards like a long-term visa status or residency. This visa won't do that because again, it's a tourist visa. And also you're going to have a really hard time getting a bank account. So keep that in mind when you get here. All bank accounts have been frozen for DTV holders at this current time when we're making this video. So when we got here about the week before we got here, there was a bunch of fraud and things like that, and we can't get a bank account. So it doesn't mean you can't live here. It just means it's going to make things a little bit more difficult for you, and you have to find solutions around that. But that's not what this video is about. So,
and it's not hard.
One of the biggest benefits of this visa is it's so affordable. So for each one of us, it was only about $300. We actually paid 300 pounds because we were living in the UK at the time, which we'll get into.
It can be upwards to about $400 US.
Yeah, so depending on like what country you're in, it can change a bit, but it's between like $300 and $500 or so. The other benefit about this visa is you can actually extend your entry. So if you don't want to have to do a border run after 180 days, you can extend it one time per entry period, but it'll cost you 1,900 baht, basically. Not too bad, but you can technically stay in the country for almost a year without having to leave if you do that extension.
That's very true. I feel like I'm just the pretty face in this video.
So what are the DTV types that you can get? So we know there's one called the workation one, which is like the digital nomad visa, and that's if you're a remote worker, you have a company that allows you to work remotely, and you just want to happen to come here and live and do that work here. We're not going to cover that because we didn't apply for that. We don't really have all the information. If that's something you're interested in, there's tons of information online. You can go to like Reddit forums, you can go to the official DTV site, and you can look up all the requirements, other YouTube channels. But basically what you're going to need is like proof that you have that and that you can work remotely. Long and short of it, bank statements, things like that. But what we're going to talk about is the soft powers activity. Now, this is Thailand's way of like elevating their cultural heritage. So they want people to come here to take things like cooking classes, Muay Thai kickboxing, medical tourism. And so those are things that like we kind of have more information on how to do that right and how to apply for that properly. There's two other ones that we have no clue about. One is like seminars and music festivals, and we can't find any definitive information.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds fun, but I have no idea how to do it. Also, I love that, like, even though you're investing in the country, it's also like you're investing in yourself because you get to do these activities and you get to meet people, and it's, I don't know, it's a lot of fun.
I've had a ball, and I'll tell you guys what I did exactly to get into the country using this visa, and I've been having a great time. Now, your best chance of getting approval for this DTV visa, because again, there's no guarantees ever in life, right? The best way to increase your chances of approval is to at least have 6 months of classes. Is from everything we've read online, that's the best way. However, there's one method we want to talk about that we almost went down, and that was Thai cooking classes. So we were actually looking at a cooking course here called the Bangkok Thai Cooking Academy, and they basically offer 2 to 6 week courses. And they say starting at the 2-week course, you can have eligibility for the DTV visa. But again, we didn't go that way because it was a little bit more expensive than what I was wanting to pay. And also everything I read online said you should apply for at least 6 months of classes. So I felt a little trepidatious about it. But what they say on their site is that you can apply for, actually, Kim, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I was going to say, like, you may be able to do the 2-week course because the company that Rocky went with, they provided letters for him. So if you did the 2-week course, they may provide the same kind of information to the Thai embassies here, or to the embassy here, and help you get your DTV visa. But if we were going to go the cooking route, I would have done the 6-week course. Just for
do it longer, just so you have like more.
Plus, it's just more fun, and you also earn diplomas like as you move up through the courses. I mean, you're learning 150 plus dishes, so that is well worth the money. Also, the money pays for your food and your meals, so it is more expensive, but you are also paying for your own food.
Yeah, and so basically on their site, what they're saying is that the courses start at 45,000 baht, which is around like 1,350 USD. And that gets you 50 to 60 professional dishes that you'll make.
Every time you go to a class, they take you to the open market and they teach you how to buy produce and your food, basically, that you're going to be cooking with that day. And then you go to the class and you cook between like 3 and 5 dishes in one day. And I think the classes range from about 3 to 5 hours. I'm not entirely sure on
Yeah,
that,
so it's
but-
like very intensive, but you do get a diploma when you're done. And then if you want the 6-week course, you can sign up for that, and that costs 100,000 baht, which sounds like a lot, but it's around 32.75 USD.
And again, that pays for a lot of food
150 plus dishes, they say.
and a lot of classes. And you're not going to be eating all this food in class. You can take it home and have it for leftovers. Or if you came, like if Rocky did the classes, he could bring it home to me.
What better way to make Thai friends than to offer them all the food you just made?
There you go.
So this is not the option we chose, but that was really high up there on the list of things, and we have read a bunch of success stories of people being able to get their DTV with that. But we didn't go with the cooking classes. What I went with was the Muay Thai kickboxing classes because it was less expensive. It gave me 45 one-on-one personal sessions with a trainer and 9 months of access to their gym at a place here called FitFac. This is not sponsored, by the way. They have no idea I'm doing this video, but I just wanted to share that we had a really easy time getting our visa approved because of this company, and it wasn't cheap necessarily. It was, some money, but compared to other visas we would have had to go for, everything all together, doing our 2 visas and this FitFat course, were a lot less.
But I mean, when you think of the cost for a gym for 9 months and for 45 personal one-on-one training sessions, that's a really good deal.
What I ended up paying for my courses was 35,990 baht, which is around 1,200 USD. So again, that's 9 months of access to a gym, 45 one-on-one personal training sessions that are an hour long each. So this is a lot of hours we're talking about.
Well, and on top of that, they gave him a lot of paperwork that secured his DTV visa.
I am confident that they are affiliated with the visa board somehow, because they gave me a giant documentation with stamps and letters and proof of what they are, and they have like a very official website. So if you go to fitfact.com or whatever, look them up, you'll see a ton of stuff about the DTV, because that's like their main marketing thing, is to get people in with the DTV. And it worked. But that giant package of information that we received was critical to us applying for the visa, because you need that as part of the requirements. So let's get into the requirements now for the DTV Soft Powers Visa. Here is everything you're going to need to consider to pull together before you go to the website and apply.
Honestly, I thought it was a lot, but I think we pretty much got it all together in like a day.
So we'll get into the documents you're going to need to pull together. First, let's talk about the requirements that you need before you even consider applying. So here's everything you'll need to have sorted in your life before you spend any more time even watching this video. First thing is you need to be at least 20 years of age.
Crushed it.
No history of long visa overstays with the Thai visa board here. So you can't have been here in Thailand and like missed your check-ins and things like that. That could really weigh against you, and they may just disqualify you because you have a bad record. So
Yeah, you need to be a good citizen.
you need at least 500,000 baht in your bank account. That equates to around 15,500 or 16,000 USD. Some places will want you to show more. Personally, I would say if you have around 20,000, that's probably the safest. Also, if you're coming to a country like Thailand, you probably want to make sure you have enough savings in case something happens, right? You don't want to move here and then be caught off guard.
And I would say that that's probably the toughest requirement for most people, is
Yeah.
to have that amount of money in your savings or in your checking account.
It's like a down payment for a house, basically.
Right, but they want to make sure that you're not going to come here and not have money and then have to live off of their government, or
They're just looking out for themselves, and they're
Right.
looking out for you. So they don't want you getting into a bad situation, and they don't want to have to like help a bunch of people. They're trying to avoid situations that could be avoided. I know that's hard news to like swallow, but you do have to have between like $15,000 and $20,000 in your account in order to be able to qualify for this. So if you don't have that, I'm so sorry. This video is not for you at this time.
But, I mean, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but Rocky provided that information, and I went on the spousal DTV visa, and I just provided the exact same bank account, so we didn't each have to have that amount.
Yeah, so keep in mind, this is just for the main DTV holder, what we're talking about. For a spousal visa, basically as long as you have a main DTV holder that gets approved, the spouse just gets in. And your dependents as long as they're under 20. So you don't need to worry about that. And if you don't have this money and you still want to consider it, if you do know someone in Thailand that you trust and they trust you, they can technically be your like guarantor or whatever, and they can like tell the government that they'll support you, or like
They basically sign saying that they will be financially responsible for you.
it doesn't guarantee you'll get in, but it's just like another route you can do if you don't have the money. So I don't know if I would go that route, but that's something they say on their website. So for your dependents of the main DTV holder, the requirements are that they have to be a legal spouse of the DTV holder, or like your children basically, or like a registered dependent.
Your children have to be under 20 and they cannot be married.
Exactly.
They have to be immediate family only. And in that situation, like I had to prove my marriage with a marriage certificate. And obviously with your children, you need to have birth certificates.
Okay, how to apply for the DTV Soft Powers Visa. Easy peasy. Once you have these things together, ready? Here we go. The first thing I'm going to say is you're going to want to apply at this website right here. This is the thaivisa.go.thailand site, basically. This is where anyone's going to apply for this, and they're going to ask for all the same information. So you're going to need, so before you apply, you're going to need your passport bio data page. That's the page with your picture and all the data and all the information. And I also sent it with my little signature that's right above it if you're a US passport holder.
And make sure there is no glare and everything is absolutely legible.
Yeah, make sure it looks like crisp and clear. If you can get like a fax of it or whatever, like a scan, that's probably better. We just took pictures with our phones and made sure it looked good. What's the next thing?
Well, the next thing is that you need to get a passport photograph with a white background. So that's basically like when you go to the DMV or get your passport photo, it's just like that.
You can get them at like Rite Aid too, right? Like any drugstores in the US, I think you can get them done.
Just go to anywhere. So many places have passport photos.
We just did it with our iPhone and just did it on a white wall, and then we used Photoshop to like make sure it fit the specs from like the website. Passport photo now.
We'll just touch it up.
I don't think there's any amount of touching we could do, Kimball. Here we go, ready? Straight on till morning. Look like you're dead inside. Perfect.
Stop.
I can't wait.
Oh my god, I should have just taken a selfie.
No, it's fine. Here I go. Kimball, don't laugh. Kimball.
You wouldn't be doing this if that wasn't on.
Kimball, come on.
Why is it so hard for you to take a photo?
Kimball.
Let's look through the options. Ready, guys?
Oh god.
There's some good ones in there. That's perfect. I think that's the one. Kimball, what do you think? Keep on.
No, here, there's we're doing it again because of the shadow behind me.
What about that, Kimball? I think this one.
So the other thing is you need proof of your current location. So that could be things like a residence permit or like a passport stamp. I think for us, we just used like a copy of a bill, and also our bank statements we provided had our address.
And both of our names and our address. I think we both used that.
Yeah, so that wasn't really a big deal for us. You also need evidence of financial assets. So you need, because they want you to have this like 500,000 baht in your account, right?
Correct.
You have to provide 6 months of bank statements for the country you're residing in. So
this was one of our little mistakes. It wasn't a big one, but it was a little hiccup.
it definitely caused a delay. So we're American citizens, but we were living in the UK working, and I was like, well, most of our money is in our US account. I'll provide that because it seems more impressive.
Also, we have US passports, so we just thought, like, let's do all the same country.
No, that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure it's a bank account in the country you're residing in, because that's the consulate technically you're applying through, is through the country you have residence in at the moment. After 3 days of waiting, they reached out and said,
you need to send us your UK bank statements.
So if you want to avoid delays, make sure to use the account for the country you're residing in, give them 6 months of statements, and make sure there's no funny business. The other thing too is that you'll need pay slips. So if you are working with a company, you'll have to provide pay slips. I did this as well. Even though I was leaving that company, I still provided it. I also got like a sponsorship letter from my company saying he's been working here for this long. He's been a great employee. I asked them for a sponsorship letter just saying like, hey, can you just tell them I'm not a dick? And so they gave me a letter just saying like I was a good employee, all that stuff.
Yeah, self-sufficient and can take care of himself and me.
Exactly. And then the most important thing, aside from all this, is the proof of confirmation for your selected activity. So again, if you're going to do cooking school, make sure they give you really legit documentation. If you're doing the FitFac, I know they'll give you the right documentation with all the stamps and letters, and it looks like a mortgage.
If you're doing the medical tourism, you need to provide like the letters from your doctor, your appointment dates, all of that, like
proof
you're
of
doing.
payment, things like that. You probably have to prepay. Again, we didn't do that because we just don't need the surgery yet.
We're thinking about it.
We're getting there. It's not too far off. So for dependents, the other thing you need to do too is make sure that you have a certificate proving your relation to the main DTV holder. So if you're a spouse, make sure you have a marriage certificate. That's what we had to do. If you're a child, make sure you have your birth certificate saying that this is my parent, all that stuff. Residence confirmation. So you're also going to need to provide proof of where you're staying in Thailand. So for us, we did a 3-month Airbnb booking. Now with Airbnb, if you book a month at a time, you get significantly lower rates, so keep that in mind. So we just went onto the Airbnb website and they have a specific thing like information for visa. And when you click on that, it gives you all the data you need. So you just get that right from the app.
Yeah, it'll give you like how much you spent, the length of time you're there, it'll give you the address, and that
phone
way...
number, contact information for the Airbnb person, because they'll need that too.
So that made it very easy for us. We just took that page and added it to our online stuff.
Again, it was all like stuff we were nervous about because we had no idea how how to do any of it. So we learned along the way, but I just want you guys to know it's not a big deal. If you see that, it's definitely available. I don't know how it works for hotels, so that's
Right.
I can't advise on that, but Airbnb is cheaper, honestly.
Some people have done hotels. I personally just feel weird about it. Some people are like,
Oh, I just booked this and then I canceled it right away.
I just would not recommend that. Why even do that? The reason we booked our Airbnb for 3 months is because we aren't looking to rent. We are here to buy, so we wanted to give ourselves time to look around. So you don't need to do
That's a whole other story. If you guys want to see, we just posted like the 10 condos we viewed, our whole journey coming to Bangkok and like staying here. So if you guys want some more insight too on to like what it's like to actually live here, check out the other videos we just posted because we're continuing our journey here. And I just want to say for our audience who comes here to watch our stuff, I'm so sorry. I know this video is nothing like what you're probably used to seeing or anything you care about, but I just really want to provide this information for anyone who's looking to make a change in their lives. And we're having such a positive experience that we really want to explain and share how people can make it happen for themselves as well. So just want to point that out.
Right. They're also going to ask for your flight information, which was super simple. Like we just had to get our, what was it, like a flight number?
Yeah, you just have to have proof of your booking. I just printed out
Super
like
simple.
a PDF of my email, basically, from my web browser. If you are going to do the workcation thing, just make sure you get a lot of documentation from your employer saying you can work and proof that you're doing that. I don't know what it will all be, but you'll figure it out.
If you do the workcation thing, or even for us, like we're still making money, but we aren't making that money from Thai people. That money that we are making is coming from outside of Thailand.
And that is very strict, guys. Like Kimball's an artist. He cannot even like sell artwork on the street.
I can't put it up in a coffee shop or anything like that. That's
Yeah, you can't
breaking
do
my visa
anything. Like
rules.
you can't make any money here because those jobs and the money is reserved for Thai citizens. And this is, again, a tourist visa.
Right.
So you're not going to get all the same privileges in that way. You're just going to have an easier time of living in the country. So just keep that in mind. However, so you can buy a condo.
You can buy a condo, not a house.
Yeah, you can't buy a house, but I just think it's funny. Like you can't make any money, but you can so they want you to invest in the country, but you're not going to take money away from Thai people, if that makes sense. The other thing you're going to need to do is prove your immigration status. So for us, this was a big deal. I don't know how it works in the US, but I would read their site. You probably, like in the UK where we were living at the time, I had to go to this website. What was it? It was gov.uk/check immigration status. And I had to like click that and generate a little report that I sent in. So
It took a while to figure that out.
everything in the UK takes a while to figure out. No offense. But anyway, so basically if you're in the US or any other country, I don't know what that proof of immigration status will be, but I would just research it on your side and figure out what it is before you apply.
I mean, if you're a US citizen living in the US, I don't know if you'd actually have to do that.
I don't think so. It might have just been for us because we were in the UK. Can you tell we're not experts? We're just...
We're just saying what we went through.
Exactly. The best thing you can do is always resort back to the official DTV website because, again, that's probably going to be the most updated source of information, as I said. Like, if this video isn't brand new, there might be changes already that could affect you. So just make sure to do your due diligence. So make sure to do your due diligence and check that site before you do anything. So make sure to do your due diligence and check that site before you apply.
Nailed it.
Kimmel's laughing because I did that like 4 times. So here are things to keep in mind, tips and tricks to help you avoid delays and just things to make your life a lot easier. You are going to need to do 90-day check-ins once you arrive. Now, if you do move to this country on the DTV visa, the first check-in you have to do has to be in person at their main headquarters.
We have kind of mixed messages on this one, but we're going to play it safe and go in person for our first visit. They say you can also mail it in.
We're not dealing with that.
You can also hire an agent who you give all of your paperwork to, and they will go and do it for you.
So if you have some extra cash and you don't want to be at like a glorified DMV all day long, you can pay someone to go do it for you.
I think it was about $150 to have them. And I mean, some people it's worth it because you're probably going to be at this place for about 8 hours.
That's a whole future video that's coming, is our entire day at this center trying to get our 90-day check-in done. So
Looking forward to it.
we'll give you more information when we have it.
Real quick, the 90-day check-in, it has nothing to do with your immigration. They want to know where you're staying, is basically all it is. They want to know your address and where you're staying at.
Exactly. And then as far as we know, all the check-ins after that can just happen online. So you don't have to go into the center every time. The thing with that is you need to make sure that you do your 90-day check-in 15 days before or within 7 days of that of that date. You definitely don't want to do it later because, as I said, you can start getting dinged and like you can start building up a record for yourself.
You'll get fined as well.
So you don't want that in this country, especially if you ever want to live here long term. You want to have a very clean record because they're very strict.
And one thing that I'm not sure of, but I will find out at our first visit, is every 6 months when we have to leave the country and return, I don't know if at that time we have to do a 90-day check-in because we have our stamp like the passport
Yeah,
stamping.
like is
so
that
I'm
a
not
check-in?
sure.
We don't know. If you guys know, let us know.
Yeah.
So here are some tips for applying for the visa that could help save you some time. One is make sure that the bank you're providing statements from is from the country you reside in, as I said. The other thing too is that if you don't hear from the consulate after you've applied for your visa and like a certain amount of time has gone by, I recommend giving them a call or an email and just say, hey, I'm just checking in on my visa. I want to make sure there's no other information you might need. This is what happened when we applied. Okay, I applied for my visa first because I'm the main DTV holder. 3 days went by and they reached out and said, we need your bank statements for the UK because that's where your residence is. I sent that in, 7 days went by. And I hadn't heard anything back, so I was like,
I'm gonna send them a nicely worded email.
just saying, hey, do you need anything else? Blah, 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 blah. The next morning it was approved. So I'm pretty sure it just got stalled and then someone got my email and was like, oh, let's finish this. When Kimball applied for his visa,
Well, since I was doing the spousal visa, I had to wait until Rocky was approved because with my information, I had to send in his approved DTV visa with my information.
yeah, Kimball's was easy. It was like all he needed was a marriage certificate and my approved visa and
Well,
like his biodata page
And like
and all
my
that
bank,
stuff.
the same bank statements that he already sent in,
His got approved right away.
it took me like 2 days.
Yeah, so really easy to do for the dependents and for the spouse, things like that. I mean,
It was for us using the Thai embassy in London.
those are the main tips that we have from our experience. Everything else went really smoothly because, again, we use FitFact. They're accredited, I'm pretty sure, with the visa board here. They give you all the
Immigration.
documentation. As long as you can get all your own documents in order, it's that like third party thing that was our biggest concern because we had no control over it. So it worked really well for us. They've been really great, honestly. Like I've been going to my Muay Thai classes. There's a ton of different trainers at the Ekamai location where I go. And I really wanted to build my fitness as well. So it's like teaching me form and it's building my fitness and my physique and things like that. So it's just stuff I wanted to do anyway while I was here. And I'm learning a really interesting and like beautiful Thai art form, which is like this Thai kickboxing, and it's really cool.
It's so funny how I'm all about like, yes, let's do the food route. You're like, let's do the fitness route.
Well, my name's Rocky, and I've never won a fight.
My name's Kimball, and I don't know what that means.
The other thing I said we would talk about is like why we chose to move to Bangkok. Why Thailand? How has it been? I was basically working, as you guys heard at the beginning of the video, I was working like a dog, like doing all this, trying to do a YouTube channel and a Patreon channel, and I was working like crazy hours, and I realized after visiting in November and December that we could actually afford to live here much more affordably.
We came to visit Bangkok for the first time, and we just fell in love, and we were like, wow, the realization that we could actually live here.
If you like nice people, beautiful country, lovely weather, cafes,
Delicious
cats all
food,
over the street,
great transportation,
just beautiful, fun, vibrant cities, and like really interesting culture and kind-hearted people, like Thailand's an amazing place. And like I will say with full confidence, it's like one of the best decisions we've ever made. It was scary for sure because you're uprooting your life and you're making a big change. But if you think of what the alternative is, if you think like, how is my life going right now? Am I happy? Do I want to make a change? And you're thinking, is Bangkok for me? Watch some of our other videos, watch other people online and just like listen to their experience, because like what they're telling you is get past the fear stage and like make something fun happen for yourself. Again, it's not for everybody. I'm just saying for us, it's been a good change. So do some research and see if it's right for you.
and if you're curious, I mean, come visit if you can.
Visit us?
Well, come visit
I mean, you
Bangkok.
could. We'll take you out for coffee.
Maybe. We'll see how that goes. But like, I was scared to come to Bangkok. Like, we had just moved to England, and we were like, oh, let's go to Bangkok. And I was like, it felt really overwhelming. I was like,
Because we just didn't know.
Yeah, I was really, I wouldn't say scared, but I was apprehensive. So we waited till the next year, and then we came and I was like, oh my God. Within like 5 minutes, I was in love with the city. I was very happy. I was so comfortable. I felt very safe. Highly recommend.
I feel that the Thai people are very open. We've already been making friends, and a lot of that has to do with our channel and like people like responding. You guys, so many Thai people have reached out about our channel and just been so kind and said like, welcome to our country.
I
We
know.
hope you enjoy living here.
They're like, the Thai people accept and love you. Like, thank you for coming here. It's crazy. It makes me, so heartwarming.
What I would say though is if you have a lot of like things in your life that you're trying to run away from, we don't ever recommend running away from problems and bringing them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
They're not going to go away. You got to get that sorted.
yeah, they're not going to go away. Like
Oh, look at us turning into a self-help.
I'm sorry. Just try to like work on the things before you like uproot your life and change them. Because the last thing you want to do is like relocate your entire life and then be in a new place with
the
a
same
bunch
problem.
of same problems, but now a bunch of stuff to figure out. It will just make your life really stressful. So make sure it's the right time for you.
Do we talk about... No, because we didn't... This isn't about buying the condo. We're not talking about the bank account situation.
No. Again, there's pros and cons to living in every country, right? So do some research, find out if it's right for you. But I really want to thank you guys so much for listening to this video. I hope that it helps you feel a little bit more at ease if you're considering this visa, and I hope it gives you some tools to put together into your arsenal before you apply for it. And if you guys ever have any questions, you're welcome to stop by our channel, ask any questions. If there's videos that you want to see specifically about like our lives or like things that we found while living here, please let us know, because we're really happy to oblige and make those videos too. And we also have an entire Patreon channel. So over there, we're doing weekly videos showing you guys like everything that we're doing on a daily basis. So if you really want to see what life is like here, what shopping is like, what just living is like, transportation.
I will say though, we didn't really talk about this, but if your DTV does get denied, I'm pretty sure you can reapply right away.
So don't get discouraged,
So-
because sometimes people get denied and they can apply right again with
But find out why you were denied so you can correct it.
We send you guys a lot of positive and loving energy. I know that right now is not a fun time for everybody, and I know a lot of people are feeling a lot of turmoil and fear and just feel scared to be where they're at. I want you guys to know that you can do it. It is possible if you have the money in your account, that 500,000 baht I was talking about, and you have the means to move and be mobile and like make a change, even if it scares you. It is possible to do it.
I say just sell everything, throw all that money in your bank account, and get the hell out.
That's the great advice from Kimball. If you want to follow our journey, please subscribe to the channel. We would love to share our adventures with you. Normally, we're not like an information channel like this. It's usually just our daily lives and things we're getting up to. Hunting for condos. We're going to be decorating our new condo that we're buying, things like that.
I really like to do this a lot.
I do.
You clod up my face a lot.
So if you guys want to join that journey, please do, and we would love to have you as friends here. So have a beautiful week. Hopefully we'll see you in the next video, and until then, have a great one. Love you guys.
So let's get up and go, it's just you and me, yeah.
You go in and like have to duck really low to get inside this chocolate shop, and then there's a big Mickey Mouse at the back.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest
They
experience.
had an artist in there doing charcoal drawings of people.
All these different chocolates you can taste and sample little squares of them. They dumped all the chocolate into this little melting container, mixing it up. They're stirring the cream. They're smiling. Thank you.